Hello, Megan.
And thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule today to share your insights with the Walden community on starting a podcast. As an EDD student who is committed to making a difference in the lives of persons who are or were formerly incarcerated, you have chosen podcasting as your medium for sharing your knowledge and expertise with others. Could you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start the Release to Shine podcast?
Thanks for this opportunity, Dina. I desire to educate restless youth. I taught a student who sent me a letter from jail, and it stirred a desire within me to educate restless youth on the need to avoid idleness, which my mother used to say should be a crime. That is idleness. Previously, I taught college students, and there were a few with felony background records. They shared with me the challenges to get a job, and my career coaching started there. However, I learned through research how to assist these students with resume and interview preparation. And there was an urgency after this young man's mail. There was an urgency to get this message that I had on the airwaves, and a podcast came to mind. I was unsure how to do this, but I was offered an opportunity to work with a private nonprofit organization where I taught career planning and resume preparation. And I was a workshop instructor as well with this organization. And the pieces of the puzzle came together. My
Thank you,
other,
Megan. This is really wonderful information, and you have held multiple roles as a career coach, instructor, and volunteer working with at-risk youth and adults, and also specializing in your EDD with research in that area as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and your background?
sure. Thank you, Dina. I also assist with the mentoring of young people who have had issues with the legal system.
Mm.
And my EDD, my dissertation, will be on this area of wanting to help with educating HR managers to train their educators to work or to educate those who are incarcerated.
That's wonderful how you are combining your experience together with your academic research and knowledge to help others and expand in new areas. And what steps did you take to get started with your podcast?
What I did was to read a book. I bought a book on Amazon on podcasting because I knew nothing about podcasting. And I read this book. Then I spoke with someone who told me she could manage the podcast for me. And that was how everything started with podcasting. I knew nothing really. So I had to do my own research, and that was it.
And what specific skills have helped you create engaging podcast episodes?
My public speaking skills, speaking clearly and confidently, is one of those areas that helps with podcasting. And also doing research on topics. My book, The Release to Shine Career Guide, most of the beginning, the first set of videos, sorry, came from this book. Now I'm using ChatGPT to help with the themes and the discussion topics. We have 199 videos at this time, 62 interview videos, Thankful Tuesday segment, and a video short. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the Thankful Tuesday segment because that came about. One of my students who I taught in high school would come to school every day saying how tired he was. And I asked him to substitute the word tired for thankful. And it changed his life. His mindset changed, and this young man started doing work. Usually, I could not get any assignment out of him. And once he started using the word thankful, it changed. So that
Mm.
Tuesday segment is called Thankful Tuesday, and it's Thankful Tuesday career tips that are shared every Tuesday.
Megan, it sounds like you really, to start a podcast, you need to learn about the process and also be a subject matter expert in your field. And that is something that you were able to do. And in addition to that, a very important skill has been public speaking. And tell us a little bit about your background in public speaking. I know you were involved in Toastmasters before.
Yes, thanks, Dina. I am involved in Toastmasters. At this moment, I am the Vice President of Education. I started out as a sergeant at arms. I joined 10 years ago, and I started out as a sergeant at arms. Then I moved into the role of VP, Vice President of Public Relations, and also as a mentor mentoring others. As soon as I learned something, I wanted to share it with others. And I worked also as a secretary for the club and again as president for a year and now as the vice president of education once more. And that does help because it enhances your self-confidence. Many of us don't like to speak publicly, but if you believe in what it is that you're saying and you have learned to eliminate certain filler words, you will be okay.
Absolutely. And there are Toastmasters chapters all over the United States and different groups to join. And it is just a wonderful organization to build public speaking and leadership skills. And how has your podcast helped you build connections inside the Walden community and beyond?
Dina, that's an interesting question. Currently, one of my classmates share co-hosting privileges with me on the podcast. And we connected through an online training for students with one of our professors who wanted to work with those of us who are interested in publishing. And this particular classmate and myself, we share similar desire to or passion. We both have a passion for working with the incarcerated individuals. We are hoping that we can empower some of these persons, and together we have teamed up to do that.
It is really inspiring to hear how you have been able to build those connections within Walden and finding like-minded individuals who you can connect with and who can help you with your podcast, especially because you have the same interests, you have the same goals in helping individuals who are or were formerly incarcerated. And I know you're also involved in a professional association. Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement with the National Career Development Association?
Currently, I am a member. I'm hoping to do more, but for now, I'm a member who is hungry for knowledge and I'm learning how to be a better career coach and to help my community in this regard. As we plan this job fair, we're planning a job fair for second chance individuals. And these additional skills will help me as I am the project leader, project manager for this job fair. Those skills will help. I'm also hoping to submit a proposal along with my colleague who co-hosts with me on the podcast, where we can share a platform together at one of the NCDA conferences and talk about career coaching for the incarcerated.
I wish you the very best with that. I know the National Career Development Association is a great organization to connect with other career professionals. And Megan, what are your future goals for applying the academic knowledge you have gained at Walden together with your experience as a coach, workshop facilitator, and podcaster to make a broader social impact?
My goal is to return to my country, Jamaica, and to help the Ministry of Education in working through a program for the incarcerated. I know they have one right now, but I want to be involved in that to ensure that our prisoners are educated. When we educate our prisoners, we're helping our community and we're helping others to find value within themselves. What empowerment when one who has been stripped of their dignity regains that.
I can hear your passion and also your commitment to Walden University's social change mission and your enthusiasm for expanding your reach. And that is very, very inspiring. And what advice would you have for Walden students and alumni who are considering podcasting as a potential medium for sharing their expertise, but maybe they're afraid to take the plunge?
First, join a Toastmasters club or a public speaking club. Start there and don't put it off. The longer you put it off, it's the harder it will become for you to start. What you want to do, have a message. What message do you want to share with others? What is that passion? What drives you? What is it that you would like to see change in someone else's life? Share your message. All you need is your computer and yourself with that message that you want to share. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need a podcast manager. Start small and grow.
That is great advice. And also, I would say really honing in on your topic of expertise and using your academic program to help you move forward in your area of expertise. Megan, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. We wish you the very best as you continue to live Walden's social change mission and impact workplaces, communities, and individuals through your positivity, wisdom, and commitment to learning. It has truly been a pleasure connecting with you.
Thanks, Dina. It was a pleasure for me.